1985. It became one of Banner's most famous pieces. In the score's notes, he writes, over 10 years, conductors and teachers have called me to ask about the work and whether the tune itself, in fact, a folk song. It was not a folk song, but it's written in a style. People will always ask me what I was trying to portray. When I wrote the Yorkshire Ballad, all I can say is that I was thinking of the beautiful green Yorkshire dale of northern England, the rolling hills, and the ending stretches of beautiful pasture lands. And my wife and I loved so much when a year before we had driven through the marvelous spot in the world.
Suite from the Planets by Gustav Holst and arranged by Johnny Vinston features three main themes found in Holst's original work: Mars, bringer of war; Venus, bringer of peace; and Jupiter, bringer of jollity. Mars was completed in August 1914. The entire suite was completed in 1917. Its aggressive, wild nature marches in with an insistent 5/4 rhythm proclaimed by the low woodwinds, with the melody arriving in our low grass. Mars is known to have a low atmospheric pressure, which creates turbulent, vast windstorms. Venus arrives via a solo horn with a small theme answered by soft flutes. A second theme is brought out by the rest of the band as they trade melodic lines back and forth. Everything is at peace, colored by delicate orchestral pastels. Oscillating chords from the rest of the band come and go like the tides of the ocean as the melody sings over the top. Jupiter arrives with blaring low brass. The music continually rejoices and dances, possibly influenced by Holst's interest in English folk dances. In the central section, the flutes sing a stately tune, sometimes extracted for a patriotic hymn titled, "I Vow to Thee, My Country," before closing in a flashing coda. The abundance of happiness and goodwill is palpable throughout. This was a piece we played several years ago, but the band voted to bring it back for another time for our last concert together. We hope you enjoy.
attributed to Johann Sebastian Bach, each of which exists only in the form of a single melodic line with figured bass. These pieces were first published in 1736, some 14 years before Bach's death, as the musical settings for a huge collection of 954 sacred songs edited by Bach himself. For all of its apparent simplicity of musical construction, a small two-part song form played through twice, this music is deeply moving and of great expressiveness, culminating in an exalted singing line that perhaps signified for the deeply religious Bach the willing embrace of death as the final deliverance from earthly strife and an entrance into eternal glory. The first performance of this setting took place on April 2nd, 1976, with the University of Miami Symphonic Wind Ensemble under the direction of Frederick Fennell. This piece has been a challenge for us in the expressive sense. Because it's a very slow piece, we need to live with it more and really feel it. Mr. Carter has talked about trying to think of an impactful moment in our lives that we can use to influence our interpretation of this beautiful chorale. We hope you enjoy.
Evening. Welcome again so much to the concert. My name is Riley Carter. I am the director of bands here and the department head. This year the students have continued the trend of superseding my expectations and rising to the occasion. After we finish performing, I'll talk more about this. But this is my final concert at Dixon High School, and what a way to go out, because these kids just sound amazing. Give them another hand. I'd like to highlight some of the awesome things that have happened just this year, which I think exemplifies the hard work and drive of these students. We had a very successful marching season, with it being our first full season with our new uniforms. We did a marching band tour to all the schools. We had a really great time, and everybody was very receptive to those uniforms. And again, we thank the administration for providing those for us. We had our highest scores in the Audubon Parade ever, jumping up into that kind of like 80 and 90th percentile. We had 2 DHS band students make District 8 ILMEA at the DeKalb High School in the fall, James Coker on alto saxophone and Blake Ferguson Allen on baritone saxophone. We then had our very own Blake Ferguson Allen make All-State Band, which hasn't happened for the band since 2018. We also had percussionist Gabe Greenfield going to IMAX for the conference for the Future Music Educators Seminar. Upon February, our donation campaign raised over $13,000, which allowed us to buy several dozen new instruments, plus a few big ticket items like our brand new shiny chimes. Can someone give us a demonstration of a brand new shiny $8,500 chimes? Go for it. Nice. Yes. We've been with Dixon Municipal Band, which we're very fortunate to have a partnership with them, and we were able to only use a portion of that $13,000 to get that, and they paid the bulk, which is a great situation to be in for us here. After February, we had 3 students represent us at the Rockford Wind Ensemble Honor Band: Megan Huffman, Rain Bonwell, and Blake Ferguson Allen in late February. 11 band members participated in the IHSA Solo Ensemble Contest at West Carroll High School in March, coming away with all top scores of 1s and 2s. We also had 2 perfect scores, Hayden Fulton and James and Blake's duet. And then we had 2 Best of Day awards, one for James Kokar and one for Olivia Payne. Finally, we ended our busy season in April with our participation in the IHSA Organizational Music Contest at Stockton High School. While we were there, we played 4 pieces, 2 of which we heard tonight, for a panel of 3 judges. For the first time in 24 years, the Dixon High School Band received a Division I rating, which is the highest possible rating a school can get, with only 2 points off our final score. You're looking at a fine group of young musicians who have grit, passion, and a drive for self-betterment. Give the 2023 and 24 DHS Concert Band a hand. Before we move on to some of our awards for the members of this group, I want to pass it off to our band booster president, Rachel Booker.
My name is Rachel Kokar. I'm a member of the Band Boosters, and I'm joined by another Band Booster member. I did want to take a minute and just recognize the boosters who are here. If you participated at all in a booster thing in the last year, would you stand or wave? Let us know who you are. I can't see anyone, but thank you. And I think we're going to become even more important as we have some transitions with staffing and all those things. To keep that work going, we want to make sure we have a robust group. So if you're thinking about joining, please see one of us. Anybody who just stood up, and we'd love to have you join us. We want to thank you for coming tonight. And as many of you know, it is Mr. Carter's final concert at DHS. He has, I know, he said blue. We're very happy for him. He's accepted a music education post in his hometown of Geneva, so we can only hope that we'd be so blessed to have a hometown person come and join us. He has great love for that district, and we know he will be a great asset to them. RC, as the kids have called him, has a tremendous work ethic. Perseverance through his own life flows into his perseverance as a band director. He has created a summer band camp, brought in fantastic speakers, provided opportunities for students to attend local and state competitions and contests, and made the marching band season really exciting and fun. Dixon Public Schools has been blessed to have such a great role model who inspires his passion for music. His commitment to teaching band has been passed down to several students who plan to go into music education. He's been a mentor for many students. He has also created a safe environment, inclusive for all students. Many students choose to hang around the band room during study halls, ELT, and after school because they want to be there. It's a space protected from judgment, bias, and discrimination. In Mr. Carter's presence, students find support, assistance, and encouragement. The band is great because it has a great leader. RC understands the importance of music. After all, without music, life would be flat. I should have had the drum ready to go. I just want to add, as a parent, isn't that what we all want for our children to be, have a safe space where they can explore their gifts and build those kind of bonds and relationships, and we just feel very grateful that we've had Bradley for as long as we have. Tonight, we'd like to honor you with a Duke's shirt signed by all the band members, so you can wear them all, and some other gifts for you. We wish you the best, and we will never, ever forget you. So let's
We're going to start with our Most Improved Awards. The Most Improved Award is granted each year to a student or students who have consistently demonstrated phenomenal personal growth on their instruments over the course of the academic school year. These are people who have shown they have an interest in bettering themselves and in turn betters the entire ensemble. Last year I started to, instead of doing one, doing two. I really could give out probably like 5 or 6 of these, but I only got so much budget. I'm really excited to give it to these 2 students because I think they'll probably have no idea. The first student I've had the pleasure to work with for 3 years. They have had just a drastic level of improvement over those 3 years, and specifically this year. He's really kind of come into his own on his instrument. And I'm very proud of this individual, not only for their musical growth, but for their personal growth and their social growth, and just seeing them come alive and just love music. So please give a round of applause to our first Improvement Award winner, Mr. David Sazecki. Our next Improvement Award winner. This is someone who has just started to come down and ask me for passes. They're actively asking me for questions, or asking me questions when they're practicing their parts. They got put on some pretty tricky parts for this last cycle, and they're like, Mr. Carter, can I come down and get extra help? I'm like, heck yes. This is a student who's also, again, seen a lot of kind of social growth and just developing into this more confident person, and I know that they will continue to do so, and I'm very excited to see where they go. Please give a hand to one of your percussionists, Jillian Leeser. The Leadership Award. The Leadership Award is granted each year to a student who has taken the initiative in not only guiding their peers, but being someone an underclassmen can look up to in all walks of student life. This is a person who is always prepared, compassionate, willing, and able to be in positions of responsibility. And this is a person who has been in a position of responsibility since their sophomore year, and they are a senior this year. This is a person who always brightens my day every time I see them. They bring a light to the music hallway. They're basically royalty here in the Dixon High School Band. I don't think they need any further introduction. Your percussion section leader, Miss Cadence Berger. Next, we're going to have our Dedication Award. This is an award I love giving all of these, but this one is definitely one that is going to a student who everyone will be like, oh, obviously. The Dedication Award is granted each year to a student who holds the band in a high regard. They are curious, seek out extra experiences, opportunities, and try to hold themselves to a high standard of excellence. This is a person who always does their part in being prepared, focused, and ready to give it their all. This is a student who I have written probably a good 100+ passes for to come down to practice just this year, mind you. It's a person who's like, Mr. Carter, look at this crazy, awesome, weird instrument I bought on eBay for $75. And I'm like, dude, why? But nonetheless, he continues to accumulate. And I see so much of myself in the students, not even funny. He needs no further introduction. Please give a round of applause to Blake Ferguson Allen. We are very fortunate this evening to be able to award 2 LaRue Peterson scholarships. The LaRue Peterson Memorial Music Scholarship Stipend is awarded to those graduating students who will continue their music education or performance interests within their post-high school or college ensembles and beyond. Community members Eric and Kathy Peterson have funded the scholarship in memory of Eric's father, Richard Peterson, who is a longtime piano tuner and rebuilder in the Springfield, Missouri area, and his mother, Marjorie Peterson, who performed in numerous musical theater productions and sang torch songs with her accompanists in upscale lounges in the region. His father also played the trumpet and his mother the violin. It is their pleasure to award these memorial stipends this year to 2 students who will be attending NIU and participating in Marching Huskies. Please give a hand, you guys can stand up. Give a hand to Megan Huffman and Kinsberger, who are each going to get around $500. Congratulations. We are going to move on to our final award of the evening, the John Philip Sousa Award. This is the highest honor that a student can give. This is an award for a senior. In recognition of outstanding achievement and interest in instrumental music, for singular merit in loyalty and cooperation, and for displaying those high qualities of conduct that the school instrumental music program requires. I'm going to go over time while I open this. Hang on. This is a student who needs no introduction on this, and I think a lot of people will be guessing. There are so many students who can't get this, but when you think of this award, there's a student that stands out in my mind who's at every single event, helps in every way possible that she can, and has been a pleasure to watch grow into such an amazing human being. She's formed so many bonds this year and last year, come out of her shell, and is just a student I will not soon forget. If you could please give a thunderous round of applause for your French horn section, Megan Huffman. After our final piece, please remain seated so we can honor the class of 2024 and have some nice speeches and just honor those students. Right now, we're going to hear from Leah Stock about our last piece, How to Train Your Dragon.
Right, hold on back there, but it's okay. DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon, a well-known film released in 2010, is a love motion picture that has affected the lives of many young people, especially musicians. The soundtrack was composed by John Powell, with the score earning him his first Academy Award nomination and his third BAFTA nomination. The score also won the International Film Music Critics Association Award in 2011 for Best Original Score for an Animated Featured Film Score of the Year. Mr. Carter told us he was leaving at the end of the year. We decided to bring back some years past. We all loved this piece last year, and we have a better way to end this concert, so we hope you enjoyed it.
alphabetical order towards the podium. So starting with Berger through you're going to start with our lovely percussion section leader, Cadence Berger. I forgot to pack my tissues. That's a mistake. Bubbly leader cornerstone. Oh boy. Cadence Berger has been playing percussion and band for 8 years and has been the percussion section leader since her sophomore year. She was nominated and attended the Rockford Wind Ensemble on her band last school year. Cadence's favorite memory from band is RC finding my drill chips that had been demolished by a lawnmower and never living it down. I think the one we found was yellow, if I remember correctly. It was quite something. You should have seen it. I was going to show you a chip for reference, but I forgot. But they're supposed to not look like they got chewed up by a lawnmower. That is for sure. You can give me $1 later, Cadence. It's fine. Cadence plans to attend Northern Illinois University in the fall, where she will major in early childhood education and plans to play with the NIU Marching Huskies in the fall on the cymbal line. When I think of Cadence, I see this just bright, shining light that always brightens my day and many other people's days in the music wing. I wasn't kidding when I said she's like royalty down in the music wing. I specifically remember one day during her freshman year, and she was, if everyone remembers, it was a wacky year, in and out with being online and in person, and I think it was one of the online days, and then I got an email from Cadence. She's like, Mr. Carter, what's your favorite coffee? What's your coffee order? And I'm like, interesting. So I said, cold brew with cream and 1 pump of vanilla, like I always do. And she showed up to the band room, sure enough, and she brought me one. COVID was a very rough time, and for it being my first year at the high school, I will never forget that memory because it's totally Cadence. Cadence's advice to her peers is take time to enjoy the music you collaborate on and the people you collaborate with, and keep track of your drill trips. Give it up for Cadence Berger. With us in the audience somewhere, I believe, is Ani Comer, who unfortunately was not able to be with us for band this semester, but still nonetheless deserves all the recognition for this award, or for these gifts. Hilarious, strong, perseverance. Ani Comer has been playing the flute for 8 years and played the piccolo during marching pep band season. Ani won the Improvement Award as a freshman for her incredible growth through private lessons that year. Ani's favorite memory from band was just hanging out with friends and peers during band practices. Ani plans to either join the workforce after graduation or attend trade school. Ani's in the top 1% of probably my funniest students that I've ever had. We had some great laughs over the years. We also quickly bonded with our shared love for anime and manga and our weekly discussions on the Attack on Titan manga, and I think we both were glad that they stuck the original ending for the show, which is great. Ani is always someone who volunteers to help or go the extra mile for events, and when she could. I could always count on her to be a phenomenal example of great marching, and was often an example when I kind of needed someone to demonstrate something. And she also held herself and holds herself during marching season very well. My favorite memory of Ani is her private lessons from her freshman year, where I did see that huge growth. And it's very rare to see that in a student, let alone a freshman. It was so fun, and we had a lot of great jokes during those lessons. Thanks for helping me become a great band director, Ani. Ani's advice to our other band members is to stick with band and put your mental health first. Give it up for your senior flute and piccolo player, Lisa Comer. Maven Cox. Skilled, inquisitive, humble. Maven has been playing percussion in band for 8 years. Maven's biggest accomplishments in band is his general musical growth over his time here in DHS. Maven's favorite memory from band was all the parades. He said, and I quote, "Every parade has been painful, but fun." Maven is one, it's supposed to be like, I know Kate said, and Maven are like, oh yeah, because like percussion is a different animal when you go into a parade. Maven is one of those students that is a really good listener and a quiet but very skilled type of musician. Listening goes a really long way here in band, and especially with my own personal philosophy in music education. I have a few really favorite members with Maven. Whether it's our discussions about our shared love for video games or seeing his development as a percussionist, I have always enjoyed having him in class. If I had to pick one specific moment that was my favorite, it would probably have to be the moment where I told him that he had successfully auditioned to be one of the 2 quint players for marching band this year, and he killed it on quints this year. He was so good. And he was so good by that fact that we even made some cheers just to feature Maven, which was very, very cool, and some very high-level ditties that we were able to play, which was really fun. He is a skilled drum set player and was always a great choice, and honestly one of my first choices for pep band games. I always hear one thing people love about Maven is, and I quote, the Danger Ranger. Now, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to ask too many questions about that. Just be safe out there. Maven plans to attend Sauk Valley Community College in the fall, where he'll pursue trade school. His advice to his fellow percussionists is, as a percussionist, confidence goes a long way in your ability to play. Give it up for your drumline quint player, Maven House. Megan Huffman. Dedicated, driven, intelligent. Megan has been playing the French horn for 8 years and the mellophone for 3 years, and the trumpet for 2, quote, IDK if that counts though, lol. Megan Huffman has been nominated for and played in the BNC Honor Band 3 times. I might be wrong on that, it's 2 or 3, but that was my guess. And the Rockford Wind Ensemble twice. She is also a member of the Dixie Municipal Band and performs with them regularly throughout the summer and the winter. She has been a member since last year. She is also our lovely Fearless Tri-M president and runs the organization beautifully. When asked about her favorite memory from band, she said, and I quote, I remember specifically getting poured on during the first and second football game of my sophomore year, and everyone running to get inside and then having to lay everything out in the band room, music, uniforms, instruments, etc. I remember it being a huge mess, but it was so funny that every time we tried that halftime or pregame show that season, it poured on us, and it became the joke for that season. And like literally, we were cursed. I swear to God, there was so much rain. I have a video somewhere on my phone of me just coming back and soaked like a wet dog. But it was surely built up some memories, and I don't want to forget that one either. I have so many great moments over the years that I remember with Megan. My favorite memory is probably one, she might be a little bashful of me sharing, but I think it really goes far to show how far she's come. Again, during freshman year, COVID was odd. There was a lot of online playing submissions, which was not ideal. However, Megan always did her best to submit every single assignment to the best of her ability. There was one time where she began, it was just kind of funny and cute as a little freshman. She's like, hey, Mr. Carter, here's whatever exercise. She proceeded playing. She's like, I think that was it, bye. And then just like kind of logged off. It was just really funny and endearing and cute. And to look at her now, having honor bands under her belt, many band awards, holding herself with confidence, she is a whole butterfly person. She has just transformed into this beautifully awesome musician and social butterfly who will talk to anyone, be super helpful, and just a person you want to be hanging around with, and a person you should watch for the future for whatever she does, because it will be great. Megan had this advice to give for other band members. I think the best thing to do is to make friends with everyone or as many people as possible in band. I was always really shy and reluctant to talk to people until I was an upperclassman, and I regret it. Knowing everyone and talking to everyone makes it easier to be more cohesive in a productive band, and better safe environment overall. And having Mr. Carter as the best teacher. Give it up for your horn section, Tri-M president, Johnson Music Scholarship recipient, and John Phillips Award winner, Megan Huffman. Aaron Newman, silly, caring, growth. Arn has played the clarinet for 8 years and has been the clarinet section leader for the last 2. This past year, I nominated Arn for the BNC, the Big Northern Conference Honor Band. Arn graciously accepted, and Arn would have been great, but sadly the event was canceled due to weather. But Arn's favorite memory from band is, and I quote, "I'll never forget the clarinet section being the biggest it's ever been during my 4 years at DHS this year, my senior year. It makes me so happy and I love chatting with him." If you ask me what Arn's biggest accomplishment over the last 4 years is for me in band, it's 100% making the clarinet section feel so much like a family. Looking at that section, they support each other, they love each other, they have fun, and that is a product of Arn Newman. They all support each other, they joke around, and they have one of the strongest section cohesiveness in the entire band. I attribute that mostly to Arn. I have so many great memories of Arn. One of my favorites was actually this year, right after the Autumn Parade. I went through a before and after for Instagram of like, "You're about to go on the Autumn Parade, how do you feel?" And I was like, "Oh, I feel great." And then as everyone was coming back, I got my phone out really quickly and I was getting candid responses. Got a few, "Oh, I'm tired," but when I got to Arn, all I got was this befuddled, and then she just walked away. I just died laughing. It was so funny, and that's so Arn. Arn is so funny, humble, and just a pleasure to be around. And she is such a caring leader. The growth that this person has had over the past 4 years is nothing short of awesome, and we will surely miss you dearly. After high school, Arn plans to attend Sauk Valley Community College and become a radiology tech. Arn's advice to fellow band members is to practice and love yourself for who you are. Give a hand to your silly, caring clarinet section leader, Arn Newman. Connor Parrish. Helpful, chill, loving. Connor has been playing trumpet for 8 years and is our trumpet section leader. As a superlative award, Connor 100% wins one of my most helpful students that I've had the pleasure of working with. He signs up for almost every single setup crew, and like every single pep band and setup crew, like everything. Connor cannot place a specific memory, but he says he has thoroughly enjoyed his time with Dixon High School Band. One of my favorite memories with Connor was in some of his band lessons last year. There were so many moments where we would have a range breakthrough or some sort of skill breakthrough. He'd get to a higher note than he thought he could, or get a skill down that was kind of tricky. And in those moments, I remember kind of hyping him up and seeing just a little tiny happy smirk go on his face. And that's really kind of Connor to me, because kind of soft-spoken sometimes, goofy others, very goofy other times. That little crack of a genuinely kind of proud of himself smile was really, really just an awesome moment to remember. He is a truly helpful person who brings plenty of love to that team. Connor has no definite future plans yet, but he thinks pursuing photography would be a very exciting career. Connor has this final thing to say about Dixon High School Band. I've heard all my underclassmen play. I hear their talent and their skill, but most of all, I can hear the trust and bonds between the members. I have the utmost confidence in this band's future. Very well put, Connor. Give it up for your trumpet section leader. There are so many people to thank for my time here in Dixon. First and foremost, students. I love you all very much. I think that's apparent. And thank you for all the memories. Thank you for being great students, for listening to all my wacky musings, my stupid analogies that you somehow understand. I once compared a musical phrase to a crushed bag of chips, and they understood what I wanted them to do. So that's the level of like brain blending we got going on here. So to all my wonderful music colleagues in the department, I will never forget you. We got a lot of great people here, and this program is in very good shape. And I'm so excited to continue watching all of the amazing things you'll continue to do. And I'm excited to celebrate the end of the year, have a good end of the year party, relax a little bit, prepare for graduation, and play Pomp and Circumstance, a little blue in the face. And then we'll have a great end of the year and a great summer. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening. And again,